Don't just say alright. Why turn away your eyes? Here is love day and night. Nobody knows in silence. While the fiction sings like heaven's gone into the last and the soul. A memory six black heaven's gone. It is the last justice soul. Give it up, me bastard. Can't you get yourself back together yet? You must have known by now. Not the same at all as you was once yourself. Night and fails have echoed, and the sky has now blacked out. World of fiction, six black heavens down. It is the last madness. Bye bye, Eddie. Six black heavens down. This is the last portrait. Give it up, me bastard. We got lost in the fog. How come around these? We got lost in the future. Blindly following the top down to hell. I'll be forever hopeless. Six black heavens down. Six black heavens down. Give it up, me bastard.
My audio settings got reset because of I had to get a new headphone cord. Everything is so much louder than it used to be because I don't remember how the fuck I had it. Oh yeah, Pills of Eternity wanting to launch at max volume. I caught that. funny because they had everything fixed last night. I don't know why it all reset again today. Whatever. Be tired for this.
Gelade, well done.
Not
A
a
formidable
Paladino.
fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to
Blackberry.
cannons.
We gotta go do the Hermit of Hadra House. The Epic Hermit.
As you wish.
The only two quests my companions that I care about left have to be in Act 3, so.
Greetings.
You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill, yep. Entrusted you to bring you this pistol, belonging to a dear friend of hers who has lost the curse. And you? St. Garum Spark. Cool, I guess. Anyone will see you now. Howdy. Woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. Gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and kettle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading. Here stands a queen whose knowledge is a scepter and whose cunning is her crown.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I've gone through so much shit. He was done on Rose spies that left with
And
reputation.
this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
I'm investigating a strange brew.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused me sure to awaken. I need to reverse it. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker, then her face goes still and her mouth parts, a little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly chops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground, the pages wafting around her legs like leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The leaden key dates back more than
big-ass delay.
2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Whitaker's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity.
Stupid.
He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know him?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many. Keep me informed. The leaden key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you.
Okay.
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out. If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you. Well, let's hear it.
Theos and Bragmer Sanitarium presenting your patient, Trinidad opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while this news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not... If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us.
Ugh, hurry
With
up.
Avar's support,
so slow.
we may be able to put a stop to this.
Ingwerson Tower inherited a chill ancient machine that controlled the flow of souls, then he activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The leaden key
Holy
was
shit!
born in
What was
period.
that delay?
It may be that Theos
application
has
some
full
machine speaker,
knowledge.
I don't wanna
That
think about
isn't
it.
enough to take to the Duke, but
We're
we're close.
It's manipulating a
Avar
group of with the machines that span the country,
cautious
seems to be
man.
causing a Hallborn
I
epidemic.
had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now.
Maybe using with the technology to
They
ensure
have used
legacy,
Engriffin technology to
He was
engineer
holding hearings at
Widewind's
the palace.
legacy.
He's listening to arguments
And they
for and
want
against
people to
animancy.
blame
When they finish, he's
animancy
expected to
for
decide
it.
whether to outlaw it.
As we speak, I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them. What of them?
Don't they allow a guest of dunno?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the... It would be best if people did not see Dunreed.
Well, I accidentally joined the, dozens, so... Guess we're gonna go and talk to them. Well, should have gone up there. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I'm still mad that I accidentally joined the faction. Unlocked myself out of other quests. Like, there's no indication that that's gonna lock you out of Crucible Night quests. Or whatever.
Someone's got to keep the lazy Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people. He's always been...
What are your thoughts? It'll be our downfall. No, it won't, you fucking stupid idiot. I'm gonna attend. Do we hear the truth about animacy? Why do I have to go there and have to go all the way back? Holy. This is closer. Back here we go.
How fares your search?
You told me everything.
I've told you everything.
But
It's
not everything.
only right that you know everything. When I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I met a man whose mind was a
He
mystery to me.
understood me.
But he understood. We made
Yeah,
a
you're
game
talking
of
about
my
Theos.
gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one, I don't like living in the dark.
Yeah.
It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day, one day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, and that is true. What of them? Of all the groups, it is the dozens that the Duke fears most. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it.
Yeah.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Shut up, game. My party is gathered. They are heading there. You don't need to yell at me to gather my party for every single fucking time. Ugh. Can you tell I played this game for 50 hours and only enjoyed some of it? This game is so very Obsidian. Who are you? Okay. You are not the person to talk to, but according to the hearings, apparently. You? On the balcony. Go to the upper floor. I didn't know there was an upper floor. That wasn't it. Up here, okay. I didn't realize there's a little fucking door here. Fucking Eder walks in. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discern the crowd. Cruising lights stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section, another well-dressed members of the house. Domino, casual, watching with predator's interest. Still elsewhere, the ramshackle dozens have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord and disperse their animancers and their academic robes. With expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy...
Renier de Barask is originally from Palminia. He's one of the finest minds in animancy to come out of the Valian republics. He left for Defiance Bay 5 years ago, because he believed this was the true heart of animancy research.
In Palatine's words and the way she looks at her countrymen, you should sense both pride and mild sense of frustration.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
How many Dominos
And
are
I
there?
suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Domino? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
Met a false patient back from Mary Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
There's no me around here to be fair judgment. Catman Azo should be held innocent. I mean, both. His ambitions exceeded his ethics, but he's not the issue. Never.
Horseshit. These Animancers can't be trusted. Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Are you sure this is your delegate, Adric?
You won't be for long making claims like that.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justiciar. You turn a blind eye and look what happens.
Crucible Knights are blameless here. This is not the workings of Animancy, but an ancient device on Ternonoth.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
But where's my oath? Challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Ternonoth houses an Angwitha machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. Was this the machine that made the district undead?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
There were others of the tower who did this. It was
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
You're missing the point. Everywhere there's Animancers, there's disaster. We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about.
No, you don't. You
And
literally
it ain't about
don't.
some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge. It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
No, it's not.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son, my wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing.
Again, no proof.
It ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans
No, that's
play
not why.
God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's Animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate?
Exactly.
Who among us can say he
Among
truly
us.
understands
Among
how the
us.
legacy has taken hold here?
Bring order to the chaos here. I can. Wademan's legacy is the creation of the leaden key. Caedmon's Azo's downfall was their work, as was the Tower of Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. Hellmongering is painted din of skepticism fills the hall. I've seen them in the ruins of Aragorn Path, all riding machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, never towards, near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I've heard their dead confess their blood. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Okay. Your quips cannot change the truth. Birth invalids to room dry. Okay. Your quips cannot change the truth.
You must know, friend, that the leaden key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe
What's more likely, the gods are destroying Deerwood for science practice in many parts of the world, while a group of people hates animals who wants it suppressed. Lidkey's very real. They are foreigners from Adir and registrars who hate Deerwood and want to see her suffer. Let's say a lord is cuckolded by his wife. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more. But if he spreads a rumor that her lover has just visited a brothel and acquired a pox in his loin, she'll end it on her own. You know anything about me? You know this. I've been called many things, but never a liar. An honest witness is the best piece of evidence you have in this matter. We want the same thing here. We want Wademan's legacy to end. If we work together instead of arguing, we can sell the people who are doing this.
Another guess! Throw him out on his ass, Your Grace! He's wasting our time!
I've seen these machines with my own eyes, and they operate by mechanics only someone with ancient knowledge will understand. No group with the leaden key traces back that far.
I don't know about all of this.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least.
I take a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could.
Indeed. This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended. But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Allow animancy. Her face still bulging looks her way instantly nods approval. She said, animancy set their own ambitions and purpose, giving them this power so I can send a child loose in the army. Do not trust these animators, seeking first after gain and glory, but if they can heal their children, I won't hinder them.
That is all I
Edgar has no thoughts. At empty.
Not just from you, but from everyone.
Thank you for being quiet.
Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me to collect my thoughts. In particular, I want to thank our new delegate, who has given me much to think about, and who alerted me to a new enemy I had failed to see.
Fucking bot. And have this open, because something else. You were there for like 4 minutes. Fucking annoying. You don't fucking clear it. Sucks. Hate everything.
The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement. Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
Hey, who's this guy? What's he doing?
It occurs to me now that my concerns about animancy may not outweigh its value.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Stop this!
No one saw the guy walk in?
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I am already late.
Everyone just lets him go? Oh my god. Done it for you, in your ears. You find yourself gasping for your breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You up to your knee and watch his tail race out of the building. The world didn't, like, everyone just let him walk in. And, like, what the fuck, man? Ugh, world dims around you, the screams of clashing weapons fading silent until the remains of the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Leo stands in the pulpit high above an assembly of robed onlookers. You among them clustered around a wide circular pit of carved stone. Just the woman bound backward over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed. The bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on her One side of her face looking like melted candle wax. Black and red seeping. Yeah, okay.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
You know, it's the hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. This is gone. Hey, you alive? Can we move? You shouldn't stick around. Dear ones get started up. They like to start burning things. Lady Webb, she's the only. She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please find her. Tell her everything. There's just a couple dead guards now. I actually don't have the option to go to the map here. See that? See how the compass is popping up? Clandestine cargo. Task failed. I didn't even have that task. I guess I never can now. It was one that I couldn't get. Or could have gotten. I don't care. Great, everyone is just dead now. Choices matter. Your choices don't matter. Their choices matter for an epilogue slide. Lady Webb is dead. Their soul's there. Talk to it. You find screams, shattered glass, contaminating your mob, takes up warms your gullet, across the room, the door opens by the patient, steady push into the room walks Theos, floorboards creaking. So the thing I contain is beautiful. You came closer than most. A fine epitaph, no worse than any. You're concentrating, focusing with all your energy, feels like you're diving into a stone wall over and over, cracks on a, What's in Twin Elms? Did you pull that from my thoughts?
Did you pull?
I had time to practice. Walks over, raises half a new brandy bottle to the eye level. It seems to improve the selection, means to reach empty glass. I was saving that for someone. Pity. Places the brandy bottle.
You know this is how it has to be.
Long curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other. Slips the knife between your ribs. For instance, pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes. So, guys, it's recording. Like, whenever you feel you have an answer, you search for all your life in your mind. Okay, cool.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenberry Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Cool. What a delightful twist the story has taken me. You hear the sarcasm in my voice? The floods have receded. You can now go to that area you couldn't go before. Just cross the bridge, Eldraws up beside you, fires a vine spike, casts a shimmering thing of light across outer space, and there's
Please
darkness.
stop.
I need to tell you something.
What is that?
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point.
Okay.
When I finished my training in Adi, I was introduced to an
Unchecked
organization.
spread of animancy can guarantee
All I
posting
knew was
from
that
the
they were
Sith wood.
opposed to the unchecked spread of animancy.
Let me guess, you
In
joined
the
the Leaden
early
Key.
years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the Leaden Key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was... A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or... I couldn't have... I'd been out of contact. I needed some kind of direction. After that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then... And I was correct, in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the Leaden Key was trying to stop animancy. I'm still not sure about animancy. But
And what do you really expect us to do with this too-late confession?
I still feel kind of attached, even with the betrayal. He's got this way of taking offense that I really like. We're friends, buddy.
that would be an honor.
Let's go. Who would have fucking foreseen this? Who could have foreseen that the dude who hates animancy joined up with the people who wanted to kill animancy? Oh, Eder wants to talk to me?
Say what you want about Dear Woodens. They haven't met the problem yet they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
Flashes all a smile. You fight for people because you see something that is offending, even more so because you see someone you trust sees it too. Turn around and they do something like this, the person who made you want to help them is gone. You weren't really fighting for all of them, though. Just the ones that like them? Maybe. I mean, I said you got to choose. Tell the Lolos that if you die, it wouldn't be for their story hides. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. No, we're all
What is it?
He arrives at last. Who are you? Button key. Okay. Are we looking for a too towards Palagina? Uh-huh. Why would you be looking for me? Same reason I'm looking for him. You should know, little bird, no one wants to hear songs about conspiracies. It makes us want to wring your neck. Any last words? I felt I should be ashamed to die quietly. What you heard when... Let's get it over with. You really think you can kill me? If you even do half the things I've done. So, how did that go for you guys?
Damn the ambassador. I told him there was a conspiracy. Again and again, I was ignored. Then the Duke's death, the riots, and now this. If the Leaden Key is targeting me, we need to warn the ambassador in first fires.
Do we? That seems like a bad idea. Shore. Yeah, I know. I beat all of the DLCs. I don't want the fucking game to be upscaled. I just want to beat it. I just want to finish this game. This is the problem with doing the DLCs this early. Normally you save it for when you have explored everything else. there's no point in exploring anything else. Exploring won't give me shit anymore. And I don't want to experience more stories that this game has to offer me. What do you mean? What do you mean this path doesn't go here? Whatever. This game is stupid.
My mind.
Yeah. What the fuck do you want, dying guy? What is the point of it? Whatever. It's mere suffering. Transcend the path and draw strength from your injuries. Goodbye, brother. My injuries are too severe. I'm gonna get to his feet. Yeah. Stalgar's okay. Move your mission. Elm's Reach, secured and stash. Sorry, dog, but I don't give a shit about stupid tasks. I'm done. There's nothing to interact with this, obviously, like, big, should be interactable thing. Again, what is the point of this north path? If all it does is apparently just backtrack? Yeah.
You have come. You have heard of the recent defections from... This is a dangerous woman whose lies spread like plague. She inspires chaos, sows conflict. Because of these unusual circumstances.
She was one of us.
Who she was no longer matters.
Wrong, because he's the girl we wore.
You were recruited from Grey Tomb, were you not?
Yavora.
You must have known this heretic woman, Yavara. This is deeply troubling. She cannot be...
I really don't care. But it doesn't matter. You can just attach it to any part of your backstory like that. Also doesn't line up with the other backstory I attached to myself.
Estremore?
Another fugitive from the Burning City. 6 tribes of Air Grandfather welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Hearthsong District. If you explore it, do not let your feet stray into the other districts. Those are forbidden to Estremore. What is it forbidden? Sacred City, but with the first keeper. No proper respect of the stones here. Leader of one of the tribes give you the permission of the city. Only enter the breath wills present in passage and chase her own troubles. I remember to keep the stones, all the 6 tribes, upstairs, into the passage at 6. You can come to Twin Elms. Sacred city sacred. I don't care. You're the builders. You're the ones getting withins. Okay.
Twin Elms.
I've
never been this far into Air Glanfath before.
It is. I doubt I have a ping. Not everyone, I imagine. Yes. It's not everyone.
Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with... If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathings weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamanfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
Okay. That's the right thing to do.
Another Estramore. What do you want?
This woman's younger, the other says they are. She's a child in their eyes, new to her position, perhaps. I'm looking for another pass through the city.
Few Estramoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons
You're having trouble. Okay,
Looters have grown bolder at the sights of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate...
Almost stepped out of her skin.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be...
Vision of a Warlord man appears near Breathwell. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. When you see the ghost ship 5 other meth. Okay. Dr. Warren takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion, of essence. Okay. Will you remind them or Furwell's warning? Does Furwell's warning mean anything to you? And just gasps, taut threads of essence, tugging at him and drawing back. He looks at you again, trying to tell them Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anums.
Yeah, I'm a watcher.
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt,
so slow.
my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anumfath of our tribe then. When the Estramoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Anumfatha to patience. But Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others.
After years, 2 wars with Deerwood, his warning was more relevant
that
than
while
ever.
Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his...
Your choices now still fucking matter, you stupid little...
Another Estramore came through here a few days ago and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estramoran.
That sounds like a
One
man
that
to
I
stop.
won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elves from Estramoran.
Oh my god, yeah. You're from the Builder of Civilization. The Guardians of Legacy, the Guardians watch the door with a... Okay.
These were the words given to the Keepers of the Stone.
Yeah, I know.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass.
Terra Evron. My companions, yeah. You'll matter the Duke's bells. You're sending her the trade assurances from masters. Especially more for war than etiquette. In these dangerous times, it's better to send warriors to deal with pets works. Head smiling warmly. Looks like it'll be best long-term trust of all parties. You maintain traditional good traits with deerwood. Tons of Tara pearls. Trade will be picking up quickly with them in the Eastern Reach. Buy them exclusively from us for the next 5 years. It will be your exclusive market of Hyderabad and Cairo Gawan in the same period.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfather Nanamenfar. Postinago.
You did the right thing. You and the Dukes can't see it from their vantage. You can deal their dispute later.
Venus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest dates.
We have a Dongar Hair Efron. Oh, I should also rest for leaving mother. Fuck it. Camping is not allowed in this area, never mind. I forgot if you're the Celestial Sapling. Oh, fuck it, who cares? Let's go to Elm's Reach. Come see the cornerstone of the blessing of the Gilded Compass. Oh, used to go through that room, okay.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Oh my fucking god. They're here! How many fucking times? Losing my fucking mind, dude. There, wrong. Almost level 16. What now?
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Extensios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honor me.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the... We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she did.
How would we reach her?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus...
How will we get you over to move there?
You have already done much for the Inquisition.
So what? In my past life, I was Theos' bitch. Theos' bitch. This little fucking Inquisitor puppy dog. Great. Love that for my character. Love finding out that my character sucked ass. Do you have any women who have faded to view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them, skin tree bark, hair hangs?
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one.
So it would seem, Rhiannon.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I've forgotten my purpose in presence of such legendary beauty. No, I see my new case right here.
By his own admission, Sheetha.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial. The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek
Dude
him
left
out.
the same day as me, and everyone's
Suspicious
like, oh
even.
yeah, days.
If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
Stopping to my dad, but
So
like
that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the leaden key.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheetha. He has always been a poison.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
Me. Why is he running?
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man. I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake in something once buried deep.
I see to
Now,
get to
Lois, I'm
Theos.
sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek.
Okay, cool. What you mean? I thought Merle said, this is permanent? But each shot, there must be some way. To be chained to such a past. I better already do this thing, Watcher. This is all or nothing, I'm gonna lose
The
my mind.
soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
I had to believe in someone.
You would rather believe in a comforting falsity than accept a hard truth. A common trait among your kind. Endearing in some ways, but it is an obstruction.
True.
A lie within a lie. It is only when you face that truth, abandon hope of... However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an...
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
You
Or
underestimate me.
perhaps you underestimate
Nah.
your foe, old one.
No,
Where your
I
soul is
don't.
renewed in its ignorance in each span of your life.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it
past
is
comes
equally
in pieces,
possible
how do I log
that
last?
you might wait for it to come on its own, of course.
Or you could learn it from someone who already
Theos,
It is
remember?
said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget it.
Not that he would
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms.
We've wandered into
soul
Theos' path
driving
many times, many
mind and
lifetimes.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you knew where
He
he
has
went.
gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we.
Sun and shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came.
Give the secret
that
path
much
in
is
the tower's
certain.
base, saw destroyed behind
He
him through
opened a
some vile
secret path in
means.
the
We know of one.
Burial Isles
On
to
the
the Court of
burial
Penitence.
isle.
Beareth
To the court
Yemen.
of the penitents.
Shortcut, in fact.
Brayeth Yaman.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death.
What do you mean with double the
The pit is
gods?
said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage. No more than a ruin now. It is older than we, a place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below. The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the
Why is
condemned
there such a
repented
long
and were
delay
permitted by the
between
gods
voice
to
lines
ascend from the
sometimes?
pit,
Come on,
so
game.
long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would every other gods tell me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer,
So the only way to get
you
through
have
this pit
found
is to
it.
pray for
Not
help.
the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled
Who
on
would I pray to? Any gods?
I would pray first
Is there
to
another
none.
way? How do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
Wish to undo the harm he's
He
caused.
would need to have twice as many lifetimes as he to repair his savage.
Yeah, yeah.
All
I
the
can do
same,
some.
think on this matter. Be assured in your course, and be warned. May you...
You're saying words. I no longer wish to hear them. Can I camp here? No. Shattered and charred stone shadows block the passage into sun and shadow. There sure do be books. I'll turn out Jonas or something to call. Many faces Bareth. These are all just books on all of the gods.
Magnificent.
Wormgrund, Andra, Skyen, Bareth, Hylia, Magrin, Abidin, Galawain. Okay, so I'm praying to her, praying to Bareth, praying to Galawain. Probably what? Rumgrand or Andra? Okay. Someone was trying to recite the ritual words. I don't know the ritual words. Hylia is the midwife. Live every note on of life's song. Your eyes, pray, you look around, find yourself standing in an open air temple built on a mountain summit, filled with elves, Orland's other kith. I'm supposed to feel at home here, really. I'm singularly absorbed in a particular pursuit. An Orland sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand, jars of green, blue, and yellow pigments. Elf and Almawa standing to the side are locked in conversation. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry or crude sketches on sheets of paper, losing themselves in delicate minutiae of lines and syllables. Feel the breeze again, two elves basking in the sunlight shiver. Largest group gathers in the middle of the temple. They sing a lush, chaotic harmony composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift towards the singers in ones and twos, as if buffeted by gusts of wind or phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees, against the wind, chirping changes to screeching, hundreds of birds like the skies, all head in one direction away. Devotees glance at the trees, just barely distracted from their activities, but the wind picks up, scattering their pages of poetry and art, ripping the songs from the lips. Look skyward, you'll follow their gaze. Dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, seems to fill the sky. Wind roars over the summit. That explains the birds. Where you can flee, shadow falls of the temple, reaches the nearest kith, black furled Orland. Darkness swallows her, leaving only puff smoke in her place. Two elves who saw earlier ran one flee. Brief image of them huddled in Shadow Mountain, seeming to calling out for each other. Others seem frozen as the shadow advances. They likewise vanish one by one. Charming gal scatters, their ashes and charred remains of the creations. Songs of joy turn to screams of agony. Empress, but less than can possibly lie behind such destruction. You look up again at the source of the shadow. Eclipsed sun forms a blinding corona. You feel heat return my temple. Thanks to Highly Shrine and Tier Everon. Where is Hylia's temple? Rural Terminal Twin Elms, district of the city with the other temples. So that's the middle of the clouds. Oh my fucking god. Stupid game. That I alt-tab and lock my fucking... mouse to my fucking other monitor.
You must gather your party before
I know I
venturing
must
forth.
gather my fucking party. My party is fucking gathered. Shut up, game. Ooh. Ooh. It's right here. This is where the Temple of Hylia is. It's right there. But we can go there. Come on. Why am I so congested today? Hylia's Shrine.
What is it?
We can't stay down here.
Yeah.
Just how are we supposed to worship the Sky Mother for—
Calm yourself. We should be grateful that she protected
Should we
us
speak to
from
the menace that settled
a
over a
vision from the
temple?
goddess herself?
We should reveal the menace as a dragon, yes? To be honest, it's sort of the spy mother with a whole flock of warriors by this monster. A fierce of you will be like sparrows attacking an eagle. Well, he has tasked you, then who are we to doubt? Dragon, or perched atop a mountain beyond the north wheel. Follow trail of the wilderness, look for another path carved into the cliffs. Goodbye. Alof wants to speak
If
with me.
those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
This means you have to focus on finding Theos.
Yes, focus on the goal. And while I hate to turn the subject back to myself, this all has me thinking about Isilmir. I'm stuck with her now.
Do you think something will change?
I suppose not, but hope is an unchaste mistress.
On the bright side, got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. Like Imanachi's party. Could be a sort of striking middle where we
It's
are.
strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly.
I'll be relieved to stop fighting her. This wasn't as difficult as I expected. Like deep down, I'd always find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he called her forth. I pretended to spend years of my arcade training, hoping that one of my instructors had the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Latin Key, I hoped and believed that with enough loyal service, I gained their ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul the way I've seen you do without any others. Looking for someone else to solve my problems, and I realized that I've got to face it on my own. I'm with you the whole way. I still am.
That means a great deal to me. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
Is that what they said? I barely paid attention. I expect we'll figure out what that means eventually.
Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that were somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
I'm sure we'd find our own way.
I hope you're right.
We should get moving. Now we can rest. Our grieving mother. Have a sleep, deafening whisper assails you, chewing away your senses, as your mind's understanding of itself, the roars louder with each passing night, attacks from brazenless, confident, confined to your subconscious. Familiar voice fights its way through the den, calling out to you.
Hey!
No.
You gotta stop it with that. I just about punched you to snap you out of it. You were saying things, but they weren't any words I ever heard. You were shaking so hard I thought you'd crack your spine.
What happened to the bucket of cold water? Edgar shrugs and looks away, concealing a smile poorly. Things haven't improved, my mind may be going.
So I noticed. I'd have woken you sooner, but I thought it'd be nice for you to be able to close your eyes a bit. Folks don't last long without sleep. You're twitchy these days. Reminds me of Meyerwald more than I'd like. And anything I can do, you just let me know.
Thanks,
We're
bud.
close on this one. Hang on a little longer. We'll get you fixed up.
What would I do without you? Grieving mother. The fucking quest, dream of memory. Oh. I just had to
Your
talk
thoughts
to her
must flow
like
deep. Your
normally.
mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I had questions for you. How was I able to learn your dream when you
I
first
do
met?
not know. What do you speak of? If you were in my thoughts, I could not feel your presence, nor do I know what you saw there.
As she speaks, suddenly feel an odd sensation in your mind. Walking in her thoughts would be as if walking down the back street of merchant stalls, Castrovia wooden shelves, and canvas traps made less impressive by sheer number of testing balls that stretch out to the sides. Suddenly realizing whether she admits it or not, you can enter her dream and observe it without ever knowing. In response, your head twitches. There's the feeling you can simply pick up a vial, taste it, sample it, and keep the memory on your own. Suddenly you find yourself back in her present thoughts. You were wary for a moment, seems unaware of your diversion. Maybe one of your gifts, an ability to walk memories as easily as someone walks upon the ground. May I try again? My mind is open to you, as if it were as before we met. Could not stop you if I wished. I don't want to impose, I seek your permission. Memory is not as hidden as was. Much has been forgotten. If you walk in my thoughts, I have nothing hidden. My thoughts feel strangely apologetic and welcome more than once. Perhaps you may learn something that will strengthen you, or include to what has caused this terrible burning of the fields of souls and Alta Barrow's wheel. Mind gives away, passage almost unnoticed as you enter for circling. Memory you shared when you first met. You were calm, plateau, beneath the plateau, sitting in the curve of a natural arc above you is a great copper bell. Again, half again the size of a man. Paying attention as if looking down on you in the event of unfolding before you. plateau is soaked in the sun. The rock beneath you is rough and warm. Sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied. Feel your body, physical contours have changed along with surroundings. Soft series of chimes. Focus on the chime. Chime focuses you deeper in the memory. Plateaus form, glistening in the sun. You feel the heat in your skin, your wrist, your hands. Your hands are in motion. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. I walk through your dreams, thoughts, believe your memories. Frightened with curiosity anchors are...
What did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
The dream. Memory self-harming you is you helping give birth to a child. Silence as your breath falls still. You'll faint cry of a child in the distance. The newborn child almost exactly what you heard in the dream. Your mother raises both her hands as if weaving, her wrist chiming as she does, in a semblance of the gentle turning she provided while the newborn was crowning. To your surprise, you recognize the motions and words of the memories, even as they are new to you. Weaves her hands through the air. In front of you, child's cries grow still. Falls as if her strings were cut and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air, the chimes echoing her movements. Ragged voice, you hear her speak. Places down a much older woman than the one before you, harsh and almost desperate.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
A huge forest stretching out beneath a great rock. Horsey and even fainter the distance between you.
Stone of the plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
Silver Adra, surface warmed by the sun. Clasps cup's thumb, feeling for the first time, she stares down the cradle of her hands, chimes down once more.
And what did these hands hold?
Child you are bringing forth. Take a breath and release. Expression, their eyes blur closed, forming slits. Brief glimpses you've changed. You, however, change expression. Feeling pain in her features seem to smooth. She swallows once, twice. Feel her once again in your thoughts, rasping, asking for her voice while drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw.
There's surprise, followed by rising horror.
So long.
With the words comes your impulses, thoughts as if loose from a breaking dam, and your mind wraps the impulses into words. You realize there's her muscles and her heart and thoughts relaxing and breathing again. Such intensity, you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulse causes questions to float the surface. What was the name? Watcher. What's the birthing bell?
It is a plateau formed of the spirit stone Audra. At its top is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glanfathan watchtower, perhaps. Why they abandoned it, I do not know. Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
Were you helping a woman give birth?
Yes. Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey.
Much I could do to aid the mother as some sort of physical comfort, ritual, the thoughts, even enter from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for the days ahead. I was able to provide draughts, tinctures, reading of the child's spirit, all cheering the mother. And telling me the ritual, many steps took many tens of years to carve them.
It took many tens of years to carve them, but always the child's thoughts were there to guide me from the moment it began to awaken.
Reasons of the mother, birthing day, years to follow.
The expectant mother. I could often sense her thoughts, and those of her child, before she could. I would soothe her, free her from the panic of questions. I would sound the memory of the birthing bell atop the plateau in her mind, letting the memory of the vibrations fill my thoughts and hers. Often.
You sense the mother's thoughts. Bell itself provides shelter for such thoughts. So you see demon in the crevice, hollows in the rocks, so you can feel the address all around you. Ritual lasted years without having enough to birth. Once the pain is channeled away, the mother and child breathe again and sound the birthing bells on my wrists and allow the mother to hear the child's thoughts, the ringing echoing each other's thoughts. Bell open the way between them. Let the feelings pass into the newborn, let her feel the child in return. When the feelings met, this is when I weave another memory, leaving time in their minds. These bells play an important role in the birthing process. I gave a stick to the child after delivery. It was a reminder of the memory. Bell collects the child for us, so they accompany the child onwards. Fasten the wrist to care for them, body and mind. There's no magic in it except the magic of practicality. Child set to leave the cradle to escape the cribs. Mother would know through the warning of the chimes alone. At times, if the bond was strong, so would I. Not watch. Children, much trouble may be had from tiny hands. Chimes are kept until the child no needs them no longer. When I no longer can hear them sounding in the mind, the spirit has changed. The bonds we shared are long gone. Sharing last many years, or for the few, it is necessary. You watch these early children for years after their births. Children are fragile things. Even the ties of blood and mind may not be enough. They must be watched, and even then the body may fail the mind. But if watched, even the most sickly child may cling to life. If determined enough, many of their souls were tied to me. Child's spirit failed. I could sound the chimes in their mind and grant them strength, even from afar. It did not always serve, but it gave hope. Sounds like you've seen tragedy too. Enough to never wish to feel it again. Times before the bell, children died were cast upon the waters of the lake beyond the bell. Sometimes while alive, the parents and futures were deemed weak. It's different times. Children were treated carelessly those times. Times from the past. Where is the Breath of Whale located? Deep in the great forest of Deerwood, borders of Glenfathan, surrounding it, barely town, one you would find on any map, held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families tied like a knot, joined the rest of mind, all working with a purpose.
Many would come seeking their child's future, or a reading into the child's past, the lives its soul is said to have lived.
There's a slow chill for a moment. It seems as if she's going to fade from her vision. She can't bear to be seen. There's a spike of fear and alarm.
Such things are not mine to see. I meant no offense.
It feels as though she's not speaking to you. It feels as if speaking to an audience. Air takes on a cutting edge. A chill which persists for a sharp moment. You feel the word watcher resounding in our minds. Frightened. Something about watchers. A lot of watches across your mind. You feel a sharp pain stabbing with something burning lashes across your back and shoulder, and then it's gone. You feel your mother before you sign it. Was fearfully worried.
Else, but because the title Watcher was cast on me, the word carried a weight I had neither earned nor deserved. The world seems filled with such titles. They distract, I think, from the actions of the person, from their strengths.
They came to you to read their child's soul. What did you tell them?
I drew upon the present. I felt the soul of the mother before me, and used that to tell the child's path, to give it a voice. If only the thoughts of the mother and the emotions that lie beneath were mine to impart. I did, and so I used that as the telling of their child's future.
Well, the mother's emotions are painful, hurtful.
One must guard oneself when drawing upon the thoughts of another. The pain of a mother's rage and disdain. It can be a powerful poison.
You shape the thoughts, make the readings
This
true.
is my calling, to show them the life I see before them, and even greater, make them believe it.
Yeah, let's go lecture her.
Even the most
She
strongly
says she's not a
worded
watcher.
tales
We
may
tell her
not be
this is
enough
not
to
why
save
she's
a child and
okay.
allow it to be born. If I have the strength to strip away the stem of a mother's spite to expose kindness, weave nurturing from disdain and neglect, then that is my calling. And with the weight of Watcher behind my thoughts, these tells gain strength. Strength I never possessed on my
I
own.
believe him true. The child that was set upon the path, title watch
And
for even
what you
stronger.
must understand, without such weight upon my words, many lives would have been lost, drowned, cast in the lake beyond the bell. Now the trail to the lake is lost and reclaimed by the forest, as was meant.
Seems readings were necessary.
What use is a frightened will when a spirit is at stake? Would you let the fears of a mother end her newborn's life? You felt it in the memory, the weight of it, the importance of the child's life. It was a memory we shared.
A memory, it's not the truth, is it? Something that's a rasping cry from her consciousness. She raises her hand, you see the chime straight from him, it make no sound as she moves.
A greater good was done, and children were saved. It is a choice you may be forced to make one day. And when faced with it, you will make the same one. That is good, Watcher.
Alright, now we gotta rest again. We gotta keep resting until she wants to talk again. Ugh, fucking supplicants, dude. Fucking take 270 copper, you stupid loser. I have to hit this button 3 times to trigger the next fucking part of this quest. And then I'll have to do it again after. Find yourself back in the space like everyone's mind. From this time, even though you feel you've seen countless birds from this vantage point, something fills you with unease. Skies darken, mist has risen from the forest to hem you in, you are trapped. You hear something that sounded strange, dissonant like warping metal. You cut your teeth against the noise, yet as it rises, the eerie melody drives the numbness from your limbs and clears the space in the mist. Dull tone resounds through your bones, your hands are in motion, drawing forth life. The scene feels familiar, a moment you've lived and dreamed 1,000 times before, yet something ominous gnaws at the edge. Okay. Okay. Focus on the woman's cries. When she be in pain, not from a childbirth, you know that's faint distant. You're soothing pain with your mind, smoothing out the eddies of pain, so you can still push. Taking the pain out to yourself, pain has layers. When it's pressure, feeling your welcome pain, let a sharp razor to your conscience more recent than this memory. Try to recall how you've reached this place, you feel the same hollowness inside you, pit filled with the clawing winds of a beowulf. The very thought fills you with disquiet, like the memory of a nightmare. Focus on the child. Hands move, somewhere distant, seem echoed by something else. We also saw tolling bells, most will tell the child forth. An inexplicable sense of dread fills your soul as the child makes its journey to you, push by push. Malicious presence seems to surround you, and you lean forward to shield the child. Last baby emerges when ready for the journey. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, chime echoing in its thoughts. Feeling on the welcome, the soul is blurred to the edges as if you're viewing a soul from within a soul, but it's there, it's alive, long before he's weeping. And her first cry, her hands reach out for it. You stand to the child, you've done many times before, dull clanging sounds, weight hanging from your wrist. You see bones, tiny malformed, hanging from a string about your wrist. Everyone that should be, as they cling together and make a noise like funeral bells. Most too intent upon her newborn to pay you heed, so you hide your wrist behind your back. And you never know, can't ever know. As you hide the bone chimes, you shiver. In relief and premonition, the chill wind that suddenly sweeps the plateau.
Your mind comes bearing.
It felt strange. You were trapped. Why do I have to redo all these things?
And what did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak.
Huh? What? Whatever. And then watch your thoughts when you were with birthing about why.
It is because I once.
Why did you believe you were a watcher? It wasn't many corners, the name watcher is more known, you just have on others, but the title upon it. Upon what is unknown, can dispel the fear of it, I did not fight it. I even believed it true. I knew little of the ways of the watchers, even granted me strength. There's no name for some of your abilities. Cipher in your mind sees a meaning. I did not train in such things until I was more of a cloak the world casts on me and judges me for. Curious that a title such as that can define one. You know anything about watchers? They were once marked, hated, such hate feels dim now. Those that no one can see
Their
you.
eyes see, but their minds will not remember past the call.
Call.
My face is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath. And for my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. As a watcher, you see more than others.
Are you able to affect minds? So the flow of the senses that never pass, the place easily forgotten. Not a welcome, service to their minds, or is there a figure, memory slips away? Is he a woman? No desire for conversation, no desire for any questions. I have none to ask. Okay.
And
What
I,
about you?
in asking, we reveal our...
Why are you calling your mother?
That is a question for you, not I. That is not my name, although if you wish to hang the
So I
title...
named you? Do you see what I do not? Or your mind shapes thoughts I project into meaning. There is truth in that title, but it's not all I am. This is felt it, seen it, Being of the Hollowborn. Was once unknown to me as much of what unfolded outside the world. The cursing upon us, not a small thing, leaving communities and hearts. Only when I walk do I feel it stretching around me, the cracks of the world. Okay. I really am stopping to care. You know its cause. I'll know it through you. There's no way to heal it with that. Children know their voice. Again. Alright, well. The quest doesn't want to progress itself.
Your mind comes...
Okay, now that's there. What's how you wearing a wrist? Small chimes wrapped around the grieving mother's wrists. With tiny woven braids of hair of different colors from white to black, brown to blonde. Feel as if you're noticing for the first time. The birth joke's given to newborns. Why do you wear a set now?
There was no child to carry it.
This is about the Hollowborn, isn't it?
The Hollowborn. The Hollowborn have a future. They can be saved, and the tells spoke of such.
How would you know? Have you seen this future? They must be saved.
They must be saved. You have seen the beauty in childbirth. What good came into the world there on the plateau. You helped me recall it. It is a memory we shared. It is the truth.
The memory you hid the chimes on your wrist from the mother. Why? She couldn't know. It's not what I hid, what she saw it. But she couldn't know what really happened.
And what would you consider real, Watcher? The truth that was experienced and remembered? Or the one that burned out only to be swept under the rug and forgotten like ash from a fireplace?
That haven't mattered. Forgetting doesn't make it less real.
And how much of your own life has been lost to the error of memory? How many loves and betrayals were colored with the false hues?
Okay. Now we go rest a bunch. Drakes are attacking the stronghold in 6 days. Cool. Morning is cold and silent. You're upon the plateau of the Birthing Barrel. No sound, no wind. Jagged sky is smooth as mortared gray. Forest area of the plateau is nothing more. Jagged black silhouette. Even the rock, the edge around you feels cold. The sun's warm blood in. Against the cold backdrop of the sky, you see the great Birthing Barrel hanging from its arch of Adra. Surface is tarnished. Shadows inside the bell are dark and still. Seems to press down upon you, simply sadly watching, as if standing above a grave formed from the table, plateau, and the remains of a mother's womb that now cover its surface. It's something heavy in your hands, breathes gurgling, thick and wet. That is all. You find yourself filled with fear. You don't want to look at what you're holding. You don't want to touch it with your mind. That's all you can do not to cast from you. Examine what lies in your hands. As before you is vacant. Flesh in the shape of a newborn, bubbles of saliva bunch of the mouth, expelled by its steady gurgling breath, its arms, legs, heads, long and limp. No thought, no struggle, no desire to cry and protest or pain. There's nothing from within. There's an absence in your hands. Your hands tremble, shake, and the silence is broken as the chimes on your wrist echo with the trembling. And the chimes do not echo in the thoughts of the mass in your heads. There is no soul within to hear it. Reach out with your thoughts. The only emotions blanketing the plateau are the pain, the mother. The child breathes, its heart beats, but it makes no cry. The child feels light, empty. There's no joy in it, no fear, no thoughts at all, yet in the hollows inside it breathes, a thing of habit, not life. You cannot move, your trembling has subsided, and the birthing chimes on your wrists are still as the child. The mother is crying, eager seeping to see the child. You feel a sudden spike of fear of being hunted. If you give the child to the mother, you will be blamed, and her anguish and rage shall fall upon you. She will not spare you or anyone you love. Of this you are certain. But you did not cause this. You don't think you caused this. And the mother begs, her arms outstretched, hand her the child. Chimes sound once more as you give the child to its mother, and as the chime fades, there's the eager gleam that will enjoy the questioning, and you draw upon it deeply, letting the hope stream into her eyes, letting her ears fill with the cries that you have heard countless times past from other children of the bell. It will laugh from the mother's voice, and the streams of tears that run down her face. With a practiced motion, you weave a life that will never be into her eyes and thoughts. She will care for the child as if it were whole until you set her free. She'll care for it until you find a way to heal what has happened, until the reality cannot be dispelled anymore. And still, cradled beneath the weeping woman that birthed that child in her arms, does not hear the cries of the mother, does not react. It is an empty thing that breathes and carries something within it. And the chimes on your wrists lie still. They bound to you like chains, never to sound inside a newborn's mind ever again. Red reed wand. Cool. Fuck you, auto-resolve. Only the archer was killed. Let's go. Let's go. We can buy another one. All we have is the training grounds and the hedge maze. Look at that.
Your mind comes bearing questions.
I had questions. I saw a halberd in the birth and go. You feel chill in the air as the vault of your mind is growing too large for the thoughts within your breath is laced with the chill. To your horror, you hear her breathing ragged, hacking, or strangely steady. You can see saliva bunching in the corner of her lips become thick ropes of drool that cast themselves on her chin. Still blood in the air, now wet in the salt, sharp tang in your mind. Just couple of this smell of the sun underground is clearing your senses. Take her shoulder, try and steady her. Hand falls on her shoulders and you feel her begin to fall, ridges of falling stone. You place your other hand on her shoulder to steady her throat. There's a horrid, steady breathing. Clothes are wet as if she's burning with fever beneath her tangled hair, beneath third bare robes. She breath, so hissing. Take your breath. Past the lids, you can feel the piercing stare of aching cold. Horribly, you sense something from another thought, like the hollow one you held in her memory. If you try and pull away now, she will vanish into herself and vanish her thoughts, perhaps forever. You have a terrible feeling that whatever connects the two, you'll be cut. She's held us before he's a child, you search your thoughts for what you coax her. I share a memory of peace and comfort. It was a grand cry.
Thought it was my doing. I thought that I had stilled it with my thoughts. A child. It was just a child. What was done with it?
You'll give birth to the child and give it to the mother. Breathing steady again, there was life in it where there was not one before. Much as a building in her, apprehension, confusion welling up. She was afraid to do more than simply be aware of the memories there.
The last hollow born on the birthing bed. And never again did I hear a child's cry.
You found a death within me, one that many women have born within them. I sought to serve women in need. Instead, my hands ushered no new life. What happened next, I bear the responsibility for. What happened next?
The first birth was the deepest, the saddest. Nothing I could do could find the child's spirit, guide it to him.
Feel a strange absence between you, as if your thoughts are being shared across a great distance. Thought leads out for a moment, then turns sharp, near personal. I don't understand what happened, what I might have done. I feared. No, I could not dwell on that thought. Child was always there, always a reminder of what happened to Marker. I made her care for it. Made them all care for it until I could find what I had, what had gone wrong. It wasn't your doing, it happened elsewhere.
Little word of the outside world reached us. It was enough time for rage and pain and grief to guide hands. I feared what would happen to the children, what would happen to me. Every mother knows her womb may shed a stillborn, but these cold, soulless creatures, the parents wouldn't have understood, and fear of the unknown breeds violence.
The unknown? We need Willy Wonka. What happened?
I held their minds within mine. I shaped and guided them as long as I could. And with each passing day, each new birth, the strain grew. And the more I felt my control slipping, the more I focused my thoughts. Eventually, even I succumbed to the power of my own illusion. I'd woven the threads so tightly that I could no longer see through them.
Then one morning, I heard funeral bells filling the village. The sound of wailing rose through the mist. A mother had died. Her mind is so focused on the care of her hollow-born child that she neglected even to feed herself. With that, the illusion broke. The townsfolk saw their hollow-born the way they were, not the way I had wished them to see. By the end of the day, they began to look at me differently too. I don't understand what had happened, but I knew enough to flee. And every suspicion that surfaced, every faded memory of what I'd done, I pressed it down, tucked it away. My skill failed me, but I did what was necessary. I regret the mother's death, but how much worse would it have been had I not acted? You had to defend yourself. Taking innocent lives is worth any price.
Yes. And yet, Was the mother not also innocent?
Yes.
Did she not also deserve
Yes.
my protection? I feel the purity of my reasons, and yet little satisfaction for what I've done.
True will another like that, even for mercy's wrongs, except there are some things we cannot control. I no longer wish for you to travel with me. Being lost children of Deerwood are surely be worth it.
My actions only caused more misery. Worse, I took from an entire village. But you feel it was right to hold and direct their minds, even knowing the cost?
You did not know the cost, then. We often plot our courses with imperfect knowledge.
A tapestry woven thread by thread, never
I don't
seen
really agree with any of this, but it's so binary.
So it is with the thoughts and dreams that move us. Your words have soothed my mind in ways I did not expect. I thank you, Watcher, for the gift of your sight.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go kill this fucking dragon. I no longer fear you, bear. You are no longer the strongest enemy I have ever fought. Who is the strongest enemy that I fought? Great Peat Sucker Ooze. The greater Peat Sucker Ooze is the most powerful enemy I've defeated. Consul Hot was the most powerful enemy Eder defeated. That's not fair, he actually got the real one. Ancient Death Guard, Bogbat, Ancient Death Guard. And I got the one and only, actually, like, most of the, like, worthwhile kill. So all of them were weaker than the eyeless that I fought, according to that strongest, bow list. That means the Alpine Dragon was not the strongest foe for anyone. Yeah. Pack rests, rock shelter the young, full bellies, look beyond the trees, light shines in the stone, thin legs, nosy, a sharp stick, two-legged hunters, weak hunter prey, bright moon prey into the dark, pain your side, sharp stick pokes out of your flank, you roar and shake it, snaps, breaking the stones, stones your blood. Strong enemy, another two-legged, another hunter, strong enemy, hunter. You leap, aiming at its neck, claws find flesh, ripping it deep, ripping it down, wet leaves, two-legged blood. It howls, it fights back, long claws go through the air, they slash at your flesh. More pain, sharp pain, you strike, it strikes, hot blood on your claws, hot cut on your chest. Roll goes red. Strike fails, you can't breathe. Two-legged hunter looks down, wet ground, hour of blood, sharp stick above its head, bright moon above its head. For Bozo.
Hey.
Yes.
Every time Pallegina goes, brah! Where the frick do I go to leave this, man? Here? I just gotta find the frickin' nest so I can deal with this dragon so I can fucking finish the game. Doesn't look like this was the right way either. Or maybe it was. The nest. Oh my god, you so fucking stupid. I hate this goddamn AI. Why? Why are they so fucking stupid?
Of course.
What is this stupid ass AI? Where's the boulder? Me. Clattering on the rocks, tumbling sound on the cliff, sound super ahead, shadow across the path, quickest lightning vanishes before you can cast it. Just cast it. More rocks. I stumble. Ow. Okay, I'm in the nest. Ow. Why did that happen to me? I have the highest dex. Alright, well, good thing I have 12 camping supplies. I forgot about that. I needed to do that anyways. That was convenient. Howdy.
Wait a moment. My spirit dragon has come to talk to me.
You hear a noise like the stamping of sails, skies briefly blotted, trading lands before you, shaking the ground beneath your feet. It draws itself up to its full height and spreads its wings, barring your passage. Its neck, its back, and the ridge of its spines are covered with magnificent plumage. Hisses at you, while the sound doesn't sound like any language you hear, the peace being entirely clear.
Vermin invading my nest, threatening my hatchling. You shall feed my young.
Small worm crouches in the corner of the temple behind the dragon. Our mind is on edge with hunger with fear. A little more dangerous than a mother defending her offspring. I've been sent to get you to leave so that highly attached worshippers may return. Okay. Never mind. I saw immune. Immune to damage, though. I didn't realize that'd be immediate combat, but it doesn't matter. I don't think I have the intelligence to resolve. I killed the sky dragon, haha. Still not as powerful as the Pete Sucker ooze that I killed, though. So, Riposa. Who am I stealing from? The dead dragon?
What is it?
Okay, well. That's that. Let's go to Old Song, tell those guys, go back to fucking Hylia. Ooh.
We saw you go up the mountain.
She means to say that.
Yes, of course, that too.
Dragon its younger both
Praise
dead.
the Sky Mother, and thanks to you too.
And the Queen of Birds saw fit to bless us with a capable warrior. It is a shame that such a rare champion of the skies had to perish.
She told me to.
All winged life is sacred to our goddess. Still, it is better that we can return to worship at the nest.
If she, you know, she literally could have intervened in a different way to maintain the life, you know? She decided that its life didn't matter as much as her temple, so. Raposa. We would have to make a fantasy game and have to have the main characters fight dragons, because that's cool and epic. So I kind of betray the characters of my own writing for the sake of a dragon fight. That's the only base game dragon, by the way. Every other dragon I've seen. Well, I guess there's the Adja dragon. Pretty highly whistle of the bird. As the flock ascends, the thundering of wings and whooping, screeching, chirping calls fill the boughs of the tree by the thousands. To be honest, I really can't stand birds. I wonder why, Pelagina. Limbs sway, creaking with a strange, gentle rhythm. A few hundred of the birds flit from the branches, forming a brilliantly variegated flock in front of the tree. They meet, swoop in unison, you catch a glimpse of someone looking back at you. We stand in the legendary court of birds. I feel a presence.
You journeyed to my temple and rid it of the dragon. Now my faithful may return, singing their joy to the skies and praising me through their creation.
Yeah.
Glad because you seek to protect life, or because you seek a patron. And yet you have proven yourself at this task. I would tell you of
just
another.
the second one. I don't really care. I like dragons more than I like gods, but you know. Can you feed I need to have the sun's shadow.
Yes, but not only to stop Theos, to undo the tragedy he has wrought.
There's a way, Watcher. There's hope yet. Theos acts, but is moved by another. The exiled queen whispers in his ear, urges him to rob the living and the unborn of their souls for benefit, and he has obeyed. She will consume them, grow powerful, while 1,000 empty children are born. Sultan reverses tragedy. How can I return things to the way they were? Guide the trapped souls back to the bodies they were stolen from. All-born children whose eyes have never seen the sun. You can restore them, give their families hymns of joy after years of lament. Fierce restoration does not give purpose to suffering. There's no meaning or redemption in pain that does not lead to fulfillment. Symmetry demands that great rejoicing follows suffering such as this. Sure is possible to truly undo the harm we caused. Perhaps the years cannot be forgotten. For some, perhaps it is already too late. Restore even one soul. There's another side of this. You've seen the consequences of a soul destroying from its own cycle. Could these children ever truly return? Perhaps it would be better to allow these souls to find new lives? First, these lives, Watcher. Okay. How can they continue to know that when they have not fully lived this life? Okay.
When you reach the burial isle, you will find souls there that I have granted reprieve for their sins. I give these to you, for only they can bear you to safety on your journey down. And when you face Theos and the rotting fruits of his endeavors, remember the conversation we have had. In that moment, you will have power rivaling a god's. And after it, you will live in the world that you have chosen. Choose Restoration, Watcher. Return the souls to the bodies they were stolen from.
This is the hope I've held to till when we restore them as healed, I swear. And I shall remember.
Wait, I'm not done with you.
Wait, I'm not done with you. Who is this that speaks in anger? Io Palagina some answers. Questions flutter and circle her mind, let her ask what she will.
It's not often that any of our kind get the chance to speak to their... What should I call you? My mother? Father? Those words seem to fall short and yet be too generous, given our history.
You are angry with me.
What did you expect? Should I be happy? To be like this? To live like this? What kind of creator does this to her creation and abandons it in a world
You live like this? Cry laughing emoji. Should I have plucked you from your home, wrapped you in my wings, brought you to a nest like this one? Some tranquil, harmonious place far from the war chants and battle dances you love so much? Tell me what you want.
All I've ever wanted from any of your kind is to take some responsibility. Any responsibility for what you've done. To us. To every one of the children you've abandoned.
You're a song of ferocity, and while well, I hear your fury and rage in his music. Your prowess and valor leave a trail like a tapestry upon the world. I want to dampen your song even with the comfort of my wings.
What does that mean? Come back here!
I'm sorry you didn't get the answers you were looking for.
We all deserve better.
What is it?
The gods suck. All my friends hate the gods. They lame. They bitchless. There's one other thing. One other side quest that I haven't got yet. I don't know why. Champion of Bareth. I have to go to the Celestial Sapling. Okay. Do this. And then finish the game.
Of course.
Oh, immediately confronted with ghosts.
Stop right there.
Yabra.
You're in the wrong city, Inquisitor. Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
Okay, why is... Oh, whatever. I've seen you like pirates with the good people tied to them, people I've known many a year. These you by the throat in your airway titans, whether real or imagined, you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding it a hair's breadth from your eye.
Suros, what are you doing?
Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker, a woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seeming to tower over him. You've seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across an iron wheel. At the moment, it is marked only with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
Footstep sound effect. That was her. That was the voice line replaced. That's a bug. If you still poor an assassin's approach an armed guard in daylight, you should have nothing to fear. And hear what this man has to say. She stares him down until you can no longer face her. He turns away, sour face, watching you through sidelong glances, and his knuckles white around the palm of his sword.
My own brother returned home. I never dreamed this day would come.
Grand Inquisitor Theos dispatched me here to spy on you. The thing is as desperate as that over there, I never know. Our next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. You think strongly in the bonds of family, you should never have doubted we'd be reunited one day. Whatever your reasons, I miss you over these years. Having you here now at a time I'm surrounded by strangers is a wonderful gift. I'd like you to stay in our camps.
My lady Ivara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth, what hope do we have?
My lady, he admits being a spy.
That should actually make me think there's going to be less of a threat.
I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come.
Well, that just happened. Oh, we're gonna go get the fucking Ranger quest. Deal with that. Finish the game. We're so close. We are almost done. You're almost free from this game. This is a game of many issues. What am I looking for again?
Hail and well met.
Uh-huh. What do you need? I'm busy. I'm looking for a specific person who is not a quest for me. Right villager. He's looking for you kill Lord Ridrick. What if I did? You understand, it didn't work. I'm one of the guards of the keep. Why is one of the guards? He's killed most of the ones he didn't. Volsk didn't last very long. Nothing but empty air. Him, nice enough to work for, I mean. Much nicer than didn't help him when Raedric came back. He's burning inside. He says he's come back to lead us like before. He's gonna kill you for what you've done. Told him if I find you, I give you his challenge. Do it all honorable, that sort of thing. You let me go. And I kept running for as my coin let me. Funny, me running into you anyhow. Perhaps I should seek him out. I love that. Dying isn't something himself noble, even when he's hurling poor Lendry off the wall. I don't mean to go back there as long as I live. Figure I'll find work here in Twin Elms somewhere, even if I have to guard some Hut Dweller's goats or something. Okay.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Aloth's AI just broke and went, I want to chew this game up and spit it out in anger. But he's gotta fucking obliterate Raedric with my fist. My simple, I punch you really hard, you explode move. And let me go finish the game. And then we end stream after like 2 to 3 hours. And I do anything else. And then I come back tomorrow with dusk. Because goddamn it, I want to play some boomer shooter. You know what? I don't give a shit about you, sir. As you approach the smiling woman on the side of the road, shocked to a sense of unease, you can see, yeah, she's dead.
Hail and well met.
Lord Raedric has been expecting you. Good that you've not refused his challenge. Feared you might prove a coward in the end. I'll escort him. Yeah, sure. Just take me straight there. I figured strides forward in place of its eyes, great flames burn, cheeks sunken, lips pulled back. It's unnecessarily Raedric. Look well.
Look well.
See what you made of me.
See what you have made of me. But see too what great Bereth has permitted. I am returned, mind and soul.
All I see is a walking corpse. Then your eyes are deceived. You can't imagine the power bestowed upon me. I feel the touch of the gods. Maybe there's a font from which I draw life.
I have strangled the life from the usurper.
That's that creature to be your Thane. A man without resolve, without aim, a leech, growing fat upon the veil. Almost sounds as bad as the alternative.
I will not allow my lands to fall into ruin. I will cleanse the scattered gods' poison from the blood of my people. I will scour his name from the Deerwood. Bereth has blessed me with its favor, and I will be its sword. There will be no more mercy for the heretic, the thief, the charlatan. All will meet with death.
Yeah, enough of your damn talking. Fight me.
Then may the twin...
Bring her! And there we go. What a great quest. How am I even supposed to do this at this point? This quest is good, like... I'm at the end. There are no more quests. There's no more turns. Hey, we hit level 16. Bump that into athletics. Fucking determining blows, I guess. That's it. That's kind of disappointing. You don't get anything at 16. You just got like some mid shit talent. I literally don't care. Give everyone apprentice a sneak attack. There's literally no reason not to. Lightning strike. Piercing sigil. What many colors? Sure, wild leech. Don't care.
What is it?
I feel like hitting level 16 should have been more interesting. But to fucking make my way all the way back through the hole and leave. Yeah. If I hear skeletons walking around, I just manage to avoid fighting any enemies. I really don't have to fucking fight my way through a billion trash dudes. Oh my god, open this fucking door. Like, it's not locked. And it's console hot skull, by the way. That's what I'm realizing that skeleton sound is. Gotta get rid of that so I stop getting confused. So stupid, why can't you fucking open a goddamn door? So I'm gonna go to the island and finish this frickin' game. Edge Maze is complete. We've completed every fucking upgrade in this fucking place. Look at this, completed all of that. Off the island we go. Then we gotta jump in the pit. Then we gotta fucking probably fight like 2 fights. And then go through like 20 minutes of story.
This place is tinged gold with incredible suffering. Eternal suffering.
Do you remember when we were children?
Even the trees speak of it.
And we snuck out one night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries.
Set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to
It was
use
the
it.
missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it.
I miss those days. Exciting time. Everything will promise. This is your home as much as mine. Do you worry about it? Our being here puts freedom at risk. I wish I could say I thought otherwise, but hearing someone else say it helps settle some things in my mind. Miscalculated.
I miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming,
I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies on a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
Well, I sold you out.
Alcyones. They have held off many would-be invaders.
Oh. Oh my god, great. Feral Druids.
Oh. No! Bring them!
I feel like I had a soul-bound weapon to
No!
kill Druids, but I already forgot. Slurping up spirits, I guess.
Still alive? I need something sharp. No!
How may I help?
Fireball. So you can help.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
No one likes cast time.
My mind feels.
You're in the wrong with a pie bar. As they're jumping on the shores of Burial Island. Why? 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 Because I could have done that the first way. The first time, just skip all of this.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Theo signals some unseen attendant standing beside a large crank.
I ask again, Jovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Iovara only stares straight ahead, her face stony, and Krieger for restraint's the only sound. Do you confess to apostasy?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
She opens her mouth to speak, strands of thin spittle spinning from one lip to the other like a spider's threads.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
You idiot.
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Idiot literally just opened himself to that.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn.
No! Wait! I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Theo shakes his head, points to the Inquisitor, the screaming grind of rusted gears, echoes in your mind as the apparitions fade away.
When you get to the bottom, holler up here. Let me know if it's safe.
Great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Odoka. No light from the surface reaches the bottom. Even so, you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. Wind from the pit vomits you. It isn't cold. Raises goose flesh from all in your arms. The wind carries a whisper low and simply it. As you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cold cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. Whee! That was for me and me only. You jump well, no, it wasn't because it played, but that was to make me laugh and only me laugh. You jump, trusting the promise of the gods, the power of the souls to bear you safely down. Sun drop takes breath away, the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. So your descent, you can still feel that you're falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong and chaotic, find yourself drifting toward the wall. Mind the wall, not leave all kinds of marks. Great. Okay. It tugs you away from the wall just as you feel as your toe gracefully. You manage to spread your arms and legs into the X. Green weather plummets, letting out of control. Take a feat of speed and agility to avoid injury. Dive for your companion. Snatch Green weather on a free fall, unable to regain control, landing hard against the millennial stones. That's fine. I'll break my chest.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach.
How deep
Your
is this
only
pit?
way lies ahead.
That went better than I expected.
What is
Everyone
it?
all right?
Tell it to
No
my rib.
shattered knees?
Yeah,
Good.
I got shattered
Just
ribs.
me, then.
What is it?
This place is cursed.
If there is time later, I would like to try that again without the souls.
Finished.
Fucking Zawa.
It's finished.
Chill.
Still alive? Kill them all! Huh. Kill them all! No prisoner!
Fucking death is so stupid. It does nothing to me, but it just obliterates.
No prisoners! Bring them down!
That was really easy.
There's something ahead.
My mind.
Bring them down!
So sick of the dumb AI. is that got tentacles? Are they like tendrils of Adra or whatever? All Adra rises above you, stoking silent, rigid layers measuring stick from the passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice that you perceive buried deep in a score dim flickering flame. All but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. Your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away, and you're bathed in its glow, a bright beacon of the gloom. Glow seems to fade, as though you had adjusted to its intensity where it was. And where it was, Yavara seeps into existence, idolic shade hovering over the most moist prison floor. Ageless, she appears somehow indifferent to you now, a slight stoop to her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. Broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
It has truly been age. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
Even that I have unfinished business here.
I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted them from the cycle, seeks to empower Wotakon to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
And even Theos did, something I want to know about this time.
I will tell you what I remember.
Something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. See moments from that life, you, the Inquisition of Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also.
I was here before?
It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Tightens and brow furrows like a pity, your eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, looking at something that help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
Okay. Aha, of course not. It all makes sense now. Does everybody laugh gleefully?
Huh. I'd dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief. She's not serious.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Who created these gods and for what?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after
This is gonna be
generation,
so stupid.
they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone.
People keep fighting religious wars. We should simply find God to prove which religion is correct. Oh my god, none of them are? Oh man, we have to create gods to justify all of this.
It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence?
What?
But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers.
What do you mean without consequence?
And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
Can we back up? What do you mean without consequence? What consequence doesn't exist in a war without God that does exist in a war with God? Hell? Is that it? Is that the justification for everything? For all morality is heaven and hell and nothing else? So stupid.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine. The Anguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Okay, this is not voiced for no reason. Later on, after I left the Order, viewing with them found my words persuasive and showed my cause. Real what I didn't already know. The true what you taught.
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
What do you mean few have the stomach to ask what if there is no God? What is this game? Guevara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of her company, turn finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
Yeah, we've been asking this for fucking 7,000 years. Over various people and ideas and ideologies. This is not a new concept. Not a frightening concept to most people.
That's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life.
What if the cycle of birth and death is nothing more than a tool of endless preoccupation?
Yeah, okay. This is how regards with the raptor has an altered mind.
What if some things can never be recovered, and no greater good comes from their loss?
Nothing is truly lost when its influence remains.
All things pass in time, even influence. What if their purpose then?
What if we can be assured of nothing? The only values and things we can create ourselves, possibility of saying, cease to exist. Beings can peace be found. Values endure. Seem like they give us much choice in the matter.
The will would seem to grant us little choice in the matter. Yet surely we are capable of more than mere endurance. Surely when the truth is laid bare to all, this suffering can truly be overcome. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple. But somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
Yeah, I really don't care.
That is truly what you believe. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now.
I am so lost. Like, this game has lost me so hard with
and with
this.
my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been.
What if I just didn't play Pillars 2?
There is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand. I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
I don't think I had a reason. I just did it.
All these years thinking about it, I don't think I ever imagined you did it without cause. This changes things.
I did it because the story forced me to.
Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
Because I doubted you? I need to know it wasn't because after everything you learned, you still rather believe in a lie. That is the conclusion people reach once they know everything has been a mistake. Does my opinion matter so much to you?
I've always looked up to you. Since we were children. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
You're never gonna be able to convince everyone of anything.
I expected dissent. But I needed to know that true faith would prevail, even knowing what you've told me.
I'm so tired of this.
Some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know. Nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
That's me.
At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish. But now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
You're bound here till the end of time.
Speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, this prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition. But time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
Better be on that side of the motor, cause...
Better to be on no side at all. Woedica may be the most dangerous of the gods, but make no mistake. Anguith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing.
Yeah, you can lecture me all you want, but the game literally wouldn't let me not do this.
But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life.
Sun and Shadow. Tell you what I believe, proof, seen, okay, so you don't fucking know, cool. Alright, bye.
Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
Fucking... I have a choice here that actually matters. choices that matter in video games. No, you don't. Cool.
It is a cruel fate to wait all this time to be reunited with my only. If ever we should meet again.
I'm not coming back here again, that's for sure. But no, thank you.
So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Yeah, man. Oh shit, I had this conversation with Aloth.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
Theos is wrong!
You're right. People will be better off finding direction on their own than following this farce. Seems like that's all they've been doing of late. I've also been thinking, there won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate.
I agree.
Then let's face Theos. When this is all... Doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the Raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
If we were starving, they'd have rebelled sooner or later.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded.
Looks down the ground, drumming his fingers against the sides.
I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
What about?
About him going off to war. He was set on it. My parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. For me, I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one. I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then he was gone. By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
You think he went to Wayward because of what you said to him?
Crossed my mind. You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about. I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
Left him with him, you know why he changed his mind?
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bother thinking about it. I found my own way in the end, and it wasn't my brother's, and it wasn't my god's. I don't know if it was right. But I couldn't abide what Wydwin was doing to his own. God or not, I don't regret it. Whether Wydwin was Aothis, well, it hardly seems to matter after what we just heard. And all these questions I've been trying to figure out. I think I just miss my brother.
Yeah. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Get on our
One
way.
more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on then. I still owe you one.
These ruins, like a great grave for a soul.
Full of surprises, aren't you?
Many spirits stir here, edged with anger, violence.
Whoa.
Can you do that again? I had something in my eye.
I'm so glad we have to go through this other really long passageway. For the sake of some more garbage trash fights. Great, so we can find it right again. As the cavern suddenly lengthens, swallow you, your eyes adjust to darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You're surrounded by mists, ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as soon as you take a step, so behind you will erase all trace of your passage. You continue for several minutes in this manner, once over time, never seeing more than the ground right in front of you. Eventually, rays of light cut through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. Valentina's head violently snaps to one side, her eyes tracking some unseen threat. She puts her hand to the side of her face where two of her feathers have been cut short near the base. Down, float in the air. Something whizzes past you. Just as you turn, you catch another aware of movement. Out of the mist flits a shape, mulling around to see another and another. They tickle in the corner of your eyes. You turn back to the canyon wall. Sun shifts along its path and it looks like a smooth rock. Face is all okay. Figure steps out. Figure transforms from male to female for more than a mile. The only detail remains constant is its smooth olive face. The whistling, rushing shape from the mist converge on the figure.
You understand the value of a mystery watcher. A buried scroll. You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. And following it to its end...
Speak plainly. Dreaming from the end to the almost achieved. Your search ranges. I really don't care anymore. I really don't want answers. I just want to go do this thing real quick. My goal now is to see the souls. Theos shouts. What do you want to do with them?
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Woodika's question and the beginning of yours. A song the world knows and tires of. The droning chorus repeated again and again. Better the...
Yeah. Don't consign the souls of the fate to some god's choosing. You found them. Now scatter them across existence. What end would that? What would happen to the souls?
None know. They could have no end, Watcher. That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would
All that because I hate your fucking scroll. Jump to the resetting segment. Oh no, she twisted her ankle. Wait, what was the point of this? What was the point of that? Just to hurt grieving mothers more? Come on, video game.
Kill them all!
You cannot venture forth while in combat.
We finished this already. You're dragging this out so much. What if we go all the way around?
To spread the word, I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods of it. I wouldn't ask. If you do not, you will have greater powers than you.
Salvacionis.
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Come to a circular room, granite dome, wall lined with adjuncts with copper, front of a great pillar of adjunct pierces the floor from below like a ragged spike, showing texture, giving the illusion of boundless depth. The thoughts are yours, not yours, they are all questions. Face the pillar stands Theos, a look of concern on his face as he notes your approach. You something you want to ask him? One question above all others spinning madly in your mind. You don't dare ask it yet, you need some admission from him first.
You are far from your post, Inquisitor. What brings you here?
What does it do?
It has many uses, but
What are they of?
they are monuments to Woodica's greatest servants among my people.
What is this place?
We are...
As you are telling truths. The entire Inquisition is based on a lie.
The Inquisition was based on the need to cut the flesh from a rotting wound.
Jake, now you lost no more visions, you have to know everything. Do you lie to me when I said I was ready to leave my family behind for the gods? Are there no gods?
What is
a god?
A god? A higher power? We are in a sacred place within earshot of the... You will return home and...
Really don't care.
There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment.
Besides, look right here. There's some mistakes are behind it. Your age shrinks to the image of an iron wheel. Your mind model like a cake of the tried blood of thousands. Really don't care anymore. Just get to the finale.
How did you find it?
I'm not here to talk this time.
Hear me, Woodica. Your servant calls for aid.
Dude, I thought the game was supposed to crash. Right, you're dead. Get exploded. Maybe rest the body of Theos. Yeah, it's not really a body so much as a pile of meat. Follow the dense circle shaped by the sun, shouldering an eternal burden now smooth across the color-trained face. Soul remains still for the moment, defenseless, as generate, expand, and defeat lies sprawled across the body like death shroud.
Thousands of souls he has tortured. Would that he could live those sufferings 1,000 times himself.
In his own way, Theos must have truly believed he was caring for the people of Aeora, protecting them from themselves. A shame his soul won't have a chance to reflect on his errors before it enters the wheel.
Telling you to do. Ask yourself if it's worth it. He spent his lives, more than any of us will ever know. For what? Binding the world to a lie. Could a man like that ever be redeemed?
This man held to the world harder than any I have known. His suffering was plain to see.
Explore Theos' soul. The deep breath you plunge into Theos' soul. Where in Brackenbury had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends. Now an expansive borderless. Ah, that was my fucking... I meant to mute while I moved my footstool. While scrambling into heaps like the ruins of Engwith, as you pass through them, you travel for what seems like ages, rushing to a known destination. Memory you glimpsed once before. At last you see it, no more than a pinprick of light. At the end of a long tunnel, looks very slowly. First, look quickly as you near. You come into the room. Theos sends the machine. You look in the crowd, face of old men, cherry two little girls, mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, fathers clasping the child's hands, wanting to some more acceptance. Woman with tears in her eyes because you small nod. Weird ass, whatever. Cheer back with the machine, they place in the front of it, shining seeds of life, everyone's fucking dead, don't care. The machine slows down at a road halt, and last second of its grinding cogs past chamber still, and you are alone. From all sides, reality begins to bleed into the memory, and you find yourself in the skin looking down Theos' life. There can be no forgiveness for deeds, only justice. You escape judgment no longer. You can be trapped here forever.
Perhaps this is the best place in the world for Theos. Somewhere he can't cause further harm. Still, you eventually found the Ovara. What is a few thousand years to someone like him?
Your heart has a soul still subdued, and your pronouncement seems to empower your spirit. Will seems to you now a thick chain. You wind it around Theos, constraining all movement, limiting all possible last means of resistance. You call to mind the eternal prison, the vast empty cavern in Seltzvadra, vacated by souls that chose to betray themselves in order to escape an infinite abyss of hopeless self-reflection. You chose a vacant pillar and pour your consciousness into it, creating a perfect, inescapable hollow with a space for one. You gather up Theos' soul, bear to the pillar. Bindings will not be broken. Unless it's sealed away, you begin to recede back to your center. You can almost hear a distant wordless cry for mercy. Stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind. A word that you spoke. A word you spoke when you were one with Theos in ancient memory. You realize is the word that activates the machine. I mean, it hasn't stopped the Ovara. All he needs to do is pledge his soul in service to a god. Well, he doesn't make sense. I don't care. The idea is I have put him in super jail forever. That's the way the game wants you to think. Ooh. Yeah, hey guy, you wanna talk?
I'm back, seems like. You get what you needed from him?
I got an answer to the question.
Forces you to find your own footing. That's real good.
I like how you're not
out what you're going to do about all that?
Yep.
There's not much that'll put the fear in you more than that. You can take my word for it. I'd find a way to give them the courage to face it. Not because they think there's some ideas.
Yeah.
So much for Theos, then. Now you have a chance to set things right. Back to the proper order of things.
Astounding. I always knew the Leaden Key stood for something big, but I didn't. But even if you send the souls somewhere specific now, who knows what the next turn of the wheel will make of them? We can't really control what happens to them. Nor should we try. I had to see... It's your decision, of course.
Theos may be gone, yet before you lies an opportunity to heal. To restore people will long remember the
Okay, you're just telling me what... Zawa does not care. Transparent witness, you step up to the place where Theos once stood before people long ago. Great machine lies in front of you idle. Speak the command to echo the machine. Treating the stone against stone. You've only won moments before the stone will be sent. Souls will be sent to the Adjuvantes. This will be your only chance of redirecting them. Return the body. Souls to the bodies they are intended for. You close your eyes and expand your perception outward. Taking in the immense totality of 10,000 souls orbiting the chamber, you grasp on the souls tenuous. You find yourself fighting to keep them all. Then you're influencing. You feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and the force is so great it feels as though it will tear you apart. In that moment, you dedicate your entire being to bending their orbit, channeling their flow in a new direction. Alright, this is, okay. I command the ancient device became your instrument.
Exhausted,
okay, never mind. Sorry.
your consciousness slipping away. Your last sight was of the machine.
This is the ending, by the way.
Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long last. After coming to and searching for some time, you discovered the route Theos used to enter Sun and Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Terra Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Theos had left behind. And when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left. At your direction, the souls diverted by Theos were guided back to the vessels originally meant for them. For the first time, parents of hollow-born children woke to the cries of their infants and looked into their eyes to see them staring back. People fell to their knees where they stood, thanking Helia or Mogren, or even Aethys for their forgiveness of whatever guilt they felt they bore. But for all the relief that had come to some parents, others only found new grief. For many thousands of Hollowborn had died during Wide One's legacy, many by their parents' own hands. For those children, there would be no homecoming. Yet the last Hollow birth was in the past now, and those parents willing to risk trying for a new child were frequently rewarded, often with twins. Many felt they saw Helia's hand in it, and the year would be remembered as the year of Helia's
I'm not sure
splendor.
many poor peasants would consider
Lord
two
Radric's
children at
zeal
once
had
a
brought him
blessing.
back to life once, but it would not do so again. Radric's destruction at your hand
There's a
spelled
reason
the
why
end of his suffocating rule over
cursed
Gilded Vale and the
twins
surrounding
recurring
area.
folklore.
In his absence, the village prospered, becoming a popular destination for new settlers anxious to leave Defiance Bay after the riots. Without a nearby ruler, it also grew more wild, with many settlers moving on as soon as they'd arrived, turned off by lawlessness that was excessive even by Deerwooden standards. Nevertheless, despite the challenges of living there, Gilded Vale had survived, and would continue to survive for the foreseeable future. Following the assassinations of Duke Avar Wolfgren and Lady Webb, Defiance Bay was thrown into political upheaval. In the ensuing weeks, the streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed.
The fucking capital city just falls apart on the death of the Duke instantly.
Criminal activity, patrolling the streets in droves and administering their brand of law on any perceived offenders. They also took the opportunity to depose the weakened Knights of the Crucible from their position of authority, branding them traitors to the people for their actions during the riots. Whatever knights weren't stoned to death in front of their keep were forced into exile. The external contingent of knights stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle would remain there, their high justice plotting the city's recapture.
I really
the
did not want to
dozens would
sign with
soon
these.
find themselves overwhelmed by the problems of a leaderless metropolis, and in the
I
days
literally
and months
didn't
ahead,
even know I was making
Defiance
a choice by
Bay
just
remained
accepting
on
a
the
quest.
brink of collapse.
Hate that.
The destruction of the machine atop Ter Noaneth spelled the end of the reanimated corpses in Heritage Hill. Though at first few were willing to venture into the abandoned district, it was soon cleaned out and rebuilt. The district's horrors still fresh in people's minds. It would be some time before it was fully repopulated, but eventually the lure of cheap prime land would all but erase the memory.
Except for the fact that the
Duke's
rest of Defiance
assassination
Bay
at
is
the
a
apparent
fucking
hands of an
hellhole right now.
animancer had caused catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay. But those who had escaped the melee and the palace hearings remembered the testimonies of the strange guest who had shown up that day and absolved animancy, implicating the Leaden Key instead. The rumor spread quickly, and soon the popular belief was that the assassin had been a Leaden Key spy. When the legacy had lifted, people came to see it not as a sign that the riots had been according to the gods' wishes, as Theos had hoped, but as a confirmation that animancy had never been the source of the problem in the first place. Deerwoodens instead convinced themselves that the riots had somehow purged Defiance Bay of Leaden Key spies, and that the end of Whitewind's legacy was their well-deserved reward. The rage against animancers was quickly forgotten, and those who had survived were permitted to return to Brackenbury Sanitarium and rebuild it so they might resume their studies. Obsidian was restored but tempered, and the compromise that he and Andra sought played out in the Deerwood too. Skilled labor saw a revival in the Deerwood, and the country's architects, engineers, and masons transformed the broken nation into a modern marvel. Defiance Bay was rebuilt into a grand capital, and the roads that connected the country were paved into broad highways. On the other hand, expeditions to Engwithan ruins steadily declined, and the Deerwood found a more stable, peaceful relationship with Air Glanfath. With the Eyeless defeated, Stalwart redoubled its efforts to unlock the mysteries of Durgan Steel and create new marvels upon the White Forge. However, the villagers also realized that they would never achieve their ambitions.
The only actual
on
good
their
end that
own.
I got.
To that end, they set aside their grievances and welcomed newcomers, Deerwooden and Raidsaren alike, to their town. Stalwart grew not only as a hub for mining and metalworking, but also as a trading outpost, which Durgan's battery stood ready to protect. With this newfound prosperity came a generation of peace. The Flames That Whisper clan found a cautious peace with Stalwart, particularly once the villagers heard of the aid the ogres had offered against the Eyeless. The clan moved back into the Russetwood, and as Stalwart grew in prestige, the villagers formed a tighter alliance with their ogre neighbors. Within a generation, ogre traders visited Stalwart, and village hunters were welcome in the Russetwood. Harmka's death had brought the Devil of Carrick little satisfaction. In time, her taste for vengeance soured. What replaced it was a hunger to feel something, anything, new. Summer had thinned the snowpack twice over when she felt the joint at her elbow first begin to stiffen. She turned her back on the hopes of animancy and civilization and walked east. She pushed through the mountains, past Raid Ceres, and into the broad plains of Ishamiddle. She had forgotten what it was like to simply journey, no goal or destination in mind. Though she felt nothing more than the steady thump of her feet on the road, the endless horizons and grassy meadows were new to her. She measured her time in the gradual rusting of her body and was satisfied. Her movements slowed, but so did the world around her. Waist-high grasses undulated and tacked in the wind, as gradual as the tides. Sparrows and blackjays made steady pilgrimages across the sky, each flap of their wings a solemn salute. She could hardly move when she found something she had never seen before, the ocean. With the last of her strength, she pulled herself beneath the water, content at last to feel the movement of currents and the constant caress of the waves. Zawa came to believe that the Dakan had survived through him. He returned to Ishamiddle, where he united a number of small, vulnerable tribes under the beliefs of his people. He called them Takanakin, kin of Takan, and under his tutelage, they became strong enough to resist would-be conquerors. Zawa taught his secrets not to one chosen person, but to all, that the line of knowledge might never be broken. Maneha never found the salt well, but she found a kind of peace in her duties as a gift-bearer, and in the ebb and flow of her journeys. As she traveled and accepted burdens from Andra's supplicants, she saw in their eyes a kind of peace that she had not previously noticed. It was faith, not that Andra had freed them of their pain, guilt, and regret, but that she would, a little more each year. With that realization, Maneha learned to accept that Andra's ways were as gradual as they were inexorable.
She had a pretty good ending for someone.
The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land, becoming the envy of every thane and earl in Deerwood. Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearts of Deerwoodinians. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike. Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur. The Audra dragon known as the Master Below, her soul now housed in the body of the huntress Fallen Roet, passed out of Deerwood in relative anonymity, her final destination unknown, even to herself. She was last seen in the port town of Rhodes End, boarding a ship, an Audra talisman glowing about her neck. Pelagina had gone against the Duke Spell's orders by inventing a new trade arrangement with the Anamenfath to accommodate the recovering Deerwooden market. With the Deerwood's people still weakened by Widewind's legacy, the Valian Republics easily pushed their would-be competitors out of the market. For her outrageous insubordination and audacity, Pelagina was banished from the Republics. She traveled north in the Eastern Reach, avoiding Valian ports and entering the ranks of the kind wayfarers. Despite her bravery and dedication to those in her care, her strange appearance made her feel like an outsider wherever she went. Adair chose not to return home to Gilded Vale. Still most comfortable far from cities, he settled in Deerford, which, like many towns in the Deerwood, was beginning the slow process of rebuilding. Believing now that it was the obligation of Kith to be the leaders their gods had not, Adair was soon named mayor of the town, and under his guidance, Deerford soon began to prosper. He expelled the last of the Scanites from the area and drew new settlers with the offer of land, a trick he had learned from someone he otherwise preferred to forget. With each passing day, Deerford would come to more closely resemble the Gilded Vale of Adair's childhood, the one worthy of its name. When the dust settled in sun and shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Theos Ixarchanon, his former master. He saw where the Grand Master had gone wrong and what would be required to undo the harm Theos had wrought. With a flick of his wrist, he burned Theos's robe, headdress, and every other symbol of the man's power.
Again, Theos turned
Never
into a
again,
pile of
he
meat
vowed,
because they punched him
should
so
Kith
hard.
live in fear and blind obedience to an authority they did not understand. Armed with the knowledge and courage he had gained on his journeys with the Watcher, he set out on the long and lonely task of dismantling the Leaden Key. With both their aims fulfilled, Kana Rua bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to his beloved Rawatai. There, he reported on his findings to the Lore College. Kana spoke of the Engwithan people, describing both their vile experiments and their inspiring accomplishments. He spoke too of the destruction of the tablet by the Leaden Key, and the group's efforts to erase the Engwithan legacy from the world. Both inspiration and cautionary tales, he said, could be found in the world beyond Rawatai's borders. Kana urged his people to continue to pursue knowledge abroad so that the lessons found there might benefit Tekoa. Kana's inability to prove his theory of Engwithan influence diminished his academic standing, but his passion drew much interest from those less concerned with degrees. Kana swiftly became an influential figure in the move toward a more collaborative approach to expansion on the northern continent. In his personal life, he came to enjoy the reputation of an affable eccentric, willing to share grand and impossible secrets, along with a drink and a song. With Theos defeated and the souls released from Sun and Shadow, healthy children were born once again in the Deerwood. The grieving mother sought a place where she might do penance for the birthing bell. She returned to Deerford, where, to the astonishment of the villagers, she delivered the first healthy child in over a decade. She remained there, and with each new birth, she saw a measure of hope restored to the Deerwood and a measure of grace for her own troubled past. Durrance continued to blame Woodica for the atrocities of the Saints' War, believing Margaret to have been a pawn in the machinations of the Queen that was, and feeling that Theos's expulsion had been a step towards reconciliation with his goddess. Durrance tried for a time to reopen communication with her. When only silence came, he took it as a condemnation of his continued existence. Ultimately, he built a pyre and threw himself upon it, using his own shattered staff as kindling. You and Sagani never found Persok together. The Adra figurine had gone dark by the time they emerged from Sun and Shadow, and it was another month before Sagani finally accepted that Persok's trail had gone cold again. Her search took her beyond the Deerwood and as far as the Living Lands. She saw the great coastal cities of Rawatai and the ruins of Old Valia, absorbing the details of these strange and distant lands. 20 years passed before the Adra figurine finally glowed again. When it did, she followed its signal to a quiet hamlet on the outskirts of Adir. There, she met a young farmer and told her of her past as an elder of Masuk. Sagani returned to a village that had forgotten her face, but remembered her story. Masuk greeted her with cautious warmth, and Sagani found that their ways had become strange to her. She also learned that Kalu had perished of winter fever a few years before, and her middle child, Najuo, had died in a raid. But she found her daughter Yakona a hunter and mother of 3, and her son Malak a builder of mighty walls. In them, she came to find her place in the village, and the familiar contours of a world that had changed in her absence.
It's okay, you might not have done her story. It was fine,
an end to your waking visions, and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence, you were able to sleep. The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer.
God, I wish I could
But at the
fucking
moment,
sleep.
there was little to be done, and the matter would have to wait. A long journey loomed ahead.
Uh-huh. Okay, credits. At that point, just add a skip button, bro. Ah, that's called escape. That's it. That's the end of the game. It really do be the Obsidian special. Hit you with the unsatisfying ending, but here's some side screws, and here's a PowerPoint to give you an epilogue to everything. But you just gotta hit the ending button. All New Vegas had the same issue. And I'm sure Pillars 2 also has the same issue. And I'm sure everything else they've fucking done since. Yeah, game overstayed its welcome. Real time with pause sucks. I hate it. I don't like RTSs. The writing, truly mid, truly Obsidian, where it's got some nice world building and stuff like that. But holy shit. Holy shit, man. Holy shit, do you just fumble it constantly? Filled with caveats. The ending of, oh, we keep fighting over gods. Time to find out, we should just simply find out who the real gods are, so we can stop fighting. Oh my god, there are no gods. We have to make up our own gods to justify all the fighting that has been done. What'll happen? Like, if we don't have gods, there'll be no morality, and we'll just keep fighting wars for nothing, instead of keep fighting wars for something. Okay, that's the grand finale. Cool. Yeah. I'm glad I finished the game. Time to right-click uninstall it. My ass is not playing Pillars 2 anytime soon, honestly. Uninstall game. I will be playing Pathfinder Kingmaker soon, but not tomorrow. That's it for me today. I know it's a short stream. I just want to finish the game. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully around the usual time with Dusk. It's time for Boomer Shooter time. That I'm so freaking excited to play. I just want to fucking... Oh, it's going to be so fun. I'm going to enjoy video games again with that. I'm excited. And then after I beat Dusk, I might start Pathfinder Kingmaker. I did play around in the character creator. And oh boy, they really do beat D&D 3.5. There's just a whole host of shit. And it's gonna be a lot of learning system. But turn-based mode, so that's exciting. But yeah, regardless, that's it for me today. Thanks for showing up, appreciate it. Remember to join the Discord. There's a panel, the stream that'll take you there. For stream announcements, delays, cancellations, updates, all of that. It's the only place I post stream announcements. So I guess technically speaking, you get them if you follow. So that's always an option too. Also, if you just want to hang out, that's always welcome. It's a place where people can hang out. Also, below the stream is a panel that'll take you to the VOD channel, where you can see all sorts of past content. Yakuza 8, Nancy Drew, every single fucking Nancy Drew game. By the way, new Nancy Drew game coming out May 7th, was it? I think it was May 7th. Yes, May 7th. Drew stays back on the menu, boys, in 3 weeks. Also Disco Elysium, and a whole host of other sorts of past content. You want to check any of that out? There's the VOD channel. Regardless, though, thanks so much for showing up. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.